Dragons. You know 'em, you love 'em. They're the scaly beasts that rule the skies of ancient mythology and the overgrown lizards you've seen in many popular franchises. From Game of Thrones to How to Train Your Dragon, these reptiles appear constantly throughout myths, legends, and stories of all sorts.
But why do they always look so different from each other?
What, you get a problem with variation, you bland excuse of a character concept? If you've seen either of the shows mentioned previously, or any other depiction of dragons, you may notice that the variation between dragon and dragon is both vaguely similar while also being incredibly unique. Well, mostly. A common misconception with dragons is the labeling. There are countless shapes and sizes of draconic creatures, but we'll only be talking about a few of the categories in this video. Dragons, wyverns, drakes, amphipteryrs, leviathans, and worms. And no, worms with a Y and worms with an O are not the same. So get your hands off that shovel, you're not going to find any dragons in your backyard. Jeez, these viewers are dumb. Oh, you're still here? Never mind. Let's talk about dragons. Not the subcategory, the main category. The one where all the others go into. Dragons. These are your typical depictions of dragons, like the ones seen here, and are commonly referred to as the traditional or standard dragons. They have 6 limbs in the most anatomically correct scenario, consist of 2 front legs, 2 back legs, and of course the lovely pair of wings that protrude from their shoulders. Dragons usually have a fire-spitting aspect, but this can vary depending on the preference of the storyteller. They're mythical creatures after all. These are dragons. These are wyverns. The difference? Anatomy.
So you're saying that Harry Potter lied to me?
Wyverns are the most misinterpreted category in the species, often being shown off and named dragons. While yes, they are types of dragons, meaning they appear in the Draco family tree, they aren't entirely just dragons. Despite the standard dragons and wyverns sharing countless similarities, they have a few key differences that help tell them apart. Wyverns are smaller than dragons, and are bipedal for the most part, walking on 2 legs for their main support. Sometimes their wings have prehensile claws at the wrists, which can aid them in walking. Aside from those major differences, the anatomy is pretty similar to dragons. One more thing. Wyverns don't breathe fire. Next is the drakes. No, not that drake. This. No, not that one either. This one. Drakes are the bulkier, grounded dragons. They're quadrupeds that lack wings and usually make up for it with their beefy muscles and tougher build. Punk. Unlike the airborne dragons and wyverns, drakes are flightless, built around durability and capability of traversing great distances across the land, instead of needing the ability of flight. From my research, it seems that drakes are mostly non-fire breathers, with only a few depictions of the ability. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Amphipere. Amphitheater. 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 Amphiptere? These little scrunkly guys are among the smallest that I've listed, usually coming in at around 5 feet tall or 1.524 meters, though they can range in smaller sizes. Amphipteryrs, like the Quetzalcoatl, coatl for short, are serpent-like dragons that are pictured with feathers and/or wings like a bird might. They are limbless and resemble a snake in anatomy. Personally, I find these little guys to be absolutely precious. But that's beside the point. On to the next one. Worms! I would correct that one, but honestly it's too similar for me to care. Worms. They're legless, they look like snakes, and they're big. Remember the basilisk? Yeah, that guy. That's a worm. There's not much you need to know about worms, other than that they're just big snakes. A lot of the time, worms aren't able to spit fire like most other dragons. Instead, they can rely on toxins from their fangs to deliver a deadly bite, or just constrict their victims until their heads pop off. Well, that's all for the video. Thank you all for watching and sticking around until the end. I hope you learned something new about dragons. Comment, like, and subscribe if you want. I don't know. Bye-bye.